the chairperson, I would like to call the director of WACBID, Dr. Gordon Awendari.
Good morning to you all, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It's my greatest pleasure to welcome you to the first annual WACBID Research Conference. So, WACBID began its journey about 2 years ago, and we didn't hold a formal launch because we wanted to wait until we had results to show for what we wanted to do, rather than have a launch and say that we have a bunch of money, this is what we plan to do. We wanted to start to show what the center was about. So we wanted to announce ourselves with results. So today I'm very happy to welcome you to this conference where we will tell you what we are about and give you some results as a work in progress. So I will start by telling you where we came from, and then I will tell you some of the things we want to accomplish during this 2 days. So I'm sure some of you have seen this before. This is from the World Economic Forum. It's showing the number of researchers per million. And if you look here, this is the graph. It's not very clear from here, but this is Africa, as you can guess. This is Africa here. We are talking about thousands per million population. Africa is over there, about 79, I think, per million population. So this is the enormity of the task. If we look closely at Africa, this is where Ghana is, right here. Okay? So there's a huge gap in research. So this is the challenge we have. No country has developed without science and research. That type of development is not sustainable. So this is the challenge that WACBID is hoping to help address. Now, taking this challenge into account, there have been two big initiatives to try to address this from international donors. In 2013, the World Bank launched what they called the African Centers of Excellence project. And they invited applications from African universities, first from West Africa and Central Africa, to apply or to submit applications for the establishment of centers of excellence that will provide specialized training in the areas of either health, agri, or STEM. And the University of Ghana put in 3 applications, 2 of which were successful. One of them was led by us, faculty from the Department of Biochemistry, Cell and Molecular, and right here at the Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research. And we had a lot of support from UGC as well, our ICT. So what we did was we put a proposal together to the World Bank that would provide training at the master's level, PhD level, and also short courses targeted at health professionals and scientists. Then this was supposed to be supported by a very robust research portfolio that focused on the biology and pathogenesis of infectious diseases. And the hope was that through our work, we would increase research output and innovation by enhancing collaboration among biomedical scientists in the sub-region and beyond. So after several rounds of scrutiny, our proposal was selected to access up to $8 million over 4 years to support our program. So we started. The first thing we did was to develop a curriculum. So we put together a big team of faculty, local, regional, international, led by Professor Pete Gore, who we hear from the with massive support from the American Society for Cell Biology. and we developed a curriculum for graduate training. And we called it the Molecular Cell Biology of Infectious Disease. So we had a master's program for 2 years and a PhD program for 2 years. So we took this through the university approval process and up to national accreditation. So we got national accreditation for this in 2004. Now we are applying for international accreditation. The Society of Royal Society of Biology from the UK would be visiting us in October to assess our program for international accreditation. In the meantime, we had to scale up the machinery for running the program. Before, I was just running a department with a budget of about 15,000 cities per semester. I'm sure that will surprise you. Now we had a couple of $1 billion. So we had to build a secretariat, administrative staff, accounting staff, procurement staff, monitoring evaluation, student coordination. So if you look in the manual, you see all the people have been helping. But we had to crank up the machinery for running the project. And then we had to build partnerships. So we started off by taking our own collaborators and then expanding and bringing in their collaborators. So now we have a very vast network of collaborations. Then, in 2015, not to be outdone, the Wellcome Trust launched what they call the DELTAS program, which DELTA stands for Developing Excellence in Leadership and Training in Science in Africa. So, they also wanted big proposals from consortia within Africa and with collaborations from the international scientific community to also build capacity in health research. So we took our vision and our passion and we asked the Wellcome Trust to support what we're already doing from the African Citizens of Excellence project. Again, we went through a rigorous process, more than 150 applications, and we were part of the 7 that were awarded grants to be part of the DELTAS project. So that proposal, what we sought to do, or what we told the Wellcome Trust would do, on top of what the World Bank was supporting, was that we would strengthen our research by bringing more human genetics into our research portfolio, doing more pathogen, host-pathogen interactions, doing immunogenetics, and then genomics in general, pathogens. And then we proposed that, even though we started off as a center for infectious diseases, given the rising trend of non-communicable diseases in Africa, we propose that we start to dip our toes into the non-communicable disease area. And we promise that if we combine all our efforts, we'll be able to produce innovative research for molecular diagnosis and drug development. The third part was to expand our network. Initially for the ACE project, we had mostly partners from within West Africa. So we proposed that we would include partners from East and Southern Africa to make our program truly African. Then a postdoctoral program. The World Bank said they were not willing to support postdoctoral fellows. They were focusing on PhDs and masters. So we asked the Wellcome Trust that we have a program, we have support for masters and PhD. We wanted to add a postdoctoral, and they said that was a good. So through the DELTAS project, we're introducing a postdoctoral. We'll hear from some of the fellows during this conference. Then we wanted to add additional fellowships to our people. So the program brought along scholarships for. Then the last major component was what we call a student discovery. This program will allow our students to spend 6 months in the labs of one of our partners in developed countries, either in the UK, the USA, or any part of Europe, where they will get to experience an international research environment, interact with leading scientists, and hopefully that will help fine-tune their training. So as part of our program, PhD students get 6 months of work. So, who are the partners? So we started off with about 6 partners, as I said, mostly within the the West African region. And then with the Deltas project, we added 2 partners, Kenya, one in Kenya and one in South Africa. I'll acknowledge all the partners. So what these institutions bring, the African institutions, is they bring complementary expertise and complementary research facilities. So our students have access to any of the partner institutions. If there's an experiment that they need to perform that we do not have facilities for, they can go to the MRC or they can go to University of Cape Town and get it done. Then we had international partners. This program has been very strong because we have international partners who are fully committed to this. In fact, some of them spend more time helping us than doing their own work. And that has been the strength of the program. So we have many international partners. I'm not even sure I'll list them because, as I said, the way the network grows, every faculty brings on board their collaborators, who also bring on their collaborators, and the network is growing every day. But what these people are doing is they're helping supervise our students. So if you look through the brochure, find a lot of students have post-supervisors from some of these international. And they also serve on thesis advisory committees, serve as external reviewers for all research that we do. And they will host our students when they go for the student visa. So just a recap of what we offer. Short term, usually workshops, 2 weeks to 6 months. Master's program, 2 years, 1 year of coursework, which must be done at the University of Ghana. The other year, you can do it in any African partner institution or international partner institution. PhD program, 4 years, 1 year at the University of Ghana, 3 years at an African partner institution or international partner institution. And then we just started the postdoc program, which is 3 years of sponsored research at the University of Ghana or any of our African partner institutions. This is where we stand currently before the August academic year. We've taken 2 rounds of enrollment in 2014-2015, 2015-2016. And for the masters, we've taken in 52 students so far. And here's a breakdown of the male students. And these are some of the students pretending. For the PhD program, so far we've taken in 27. And here again is the male population. I'm showing the female ratio because we take special interest in encouraging women to success. So that's why I showed it. And these are the number of PhD students. And again, these are PhD. First of all, second of all, smiling. And then, so with the Deltas project, the Welcome Trust project, we started to ask for applications for postdocs. So the first round, we had 6 applications from 14 applicants. So this is a breakdown. Our friends from Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana, Cameroon responded very well. But there's a spread up to Yemen and Algeria. So we had applications from all of them. And I must say, applications were mostly very top-notch. And it emphasizes the gap that we have. Because we had capacity to take only 8. So we had 61 proposals. At the end of the review, we selected 8, and this is the spread to 6 countries. And Ghana had 3, Mali had 2, Saudi Arabia. This is the number of PhD applications. We only opened the call for PhD applications for Delta Solutions. We had 102 applications from 11 countries. Again, a big spread, but we have Ghana, Kenya, and Nigeria. At the end of the selection, we took 8 for the first batch, and Ghana and Kenya again dominated. We have 1 from all other countries. We have a very nice male female space. We are making it. All right. In addition to enrolling students, we've been building capacity in terms of equipment, upgrading labs, lecture rooms. So far, of the money that we've received, we've spent about 70% of it building infrastructure and buying equipment. And these are some of the equipment that we got. It's a post-atomic, it costs $340,000. These are goods. It's a Tacma real-time machine. It's a gel media, several centrifuges, and upgrading the labs and making them modern for competitive research. And then we improved the teaching environment. We created dedicated lecture rooms for master's students and PhD students. And then we created offices for postdocs. This is our postdoc office. Created a bioinformatics laboratory where students can learn about genomic analysis. And we ramped up our workshops. In January we had our American Society for Cell Biology workshop, which for the first time we put through all our students in this workshop to help them prepare for their comprehensive exams and for their research proposals. And as some of you may know, we have a workshop going on currently, the Neglected Tropical Disease Workshop, which is sponsored by the Royal Society, and it runs up to Vincent. So, to summarize, what we are doing is that we have created a pipeline by integrating two big capacity building projects. So we have training right from graduate internships when you finish your bachelor's, through master's, PhD, and now postdocs. So we have an environment where African research leaders can emerge. If you go through the system, competing at each stage, learn how to write grants, learn how to write manuscripts, we think that by the time you're done, you're ready to start your own. And the unique thing we are doing is that we are doing it locally. So we are providing them with a skill set that they need to survive in the peculiar environment of Africa. Doing research in Africa is not the same as doing research anywhere else. I don't want to start talking about it. I don't want to spoil your morning. But you have to learn to do research in the context of the challenges. And that's what we're trying to do. And we are hoping that through their training, when they cry together and laugh together, we hope that they continue to collaborate even beyond the training that's working. And the most important thing, we hope to generate innovation. I always ask my students, what is the mechanism? We need to provide innovations. So we have to understand these mechanisms so we can innovate and develop interventions and diagnostics. So that's our goal. So why did we invite you here? As I said at the beginning, we didn't launch the center, so this will serve as our outdoor. But what we want to do is to give the opportunity to our young scientists to showcase what they've been doing and showcase themselves. Okay, so this is the main reason why we're here. We've also invited stakeholders from the public and private health sector so that we discuss what the priorities are and make sure that what our research that we are conducting is meeting the needs of the health sector. We have several distinguished international scientists full of ideas, and we hope that we can tap into some of those ideas. And we've invited friends from the corporate sector. We're hoping to generate some interest in the corporate sector for funding research locally. All the funding that we have, all the meetings we go, they're asking us how much money can you raise locally. It's part of our performance indicators. How much money is your government willing to put up? How much money are the private sector going to put up? Okay? So we need to start to call on our corporate friends to step up and help support research. So we're hoping that when we showcase our trainees, they will see that the ladies are as beautiful as the Miss Ghana contestants. So when they spend a few millions sponsoring beauty contests, they can spend just a few thousand sponsoring PhD students and master's students. We're hoping that our guys look as fit and as interesting as footballers and musicians. And they also have a lot of innovative ideas, just like the musicians. So we hope that the corporate sector will find interest in sponsoring us. They say science is boring. Science cannot promote the sale of their product. But when there's Ebola, they look for scientists. So that's what we want to do, to engage the corporate sector. So before I take my seat, I want to acknowledge the presence of all our traveling collaborators. So I'll start from those who travel further. So University of Pittsburgh, we have Professor Solomon. So please, let's see. Solomon Oforiakwa is a Ghanaian who based at the University of Pittsburgh, and he's very enthusiastic about this program. Sometimes he's even more enthusiastic than I am. Yes, but he's been very supportive. So welcome. And I started from Pittsburgh not only because he's a Ghanaian based there, but that's where I went to school. That's where I went. That's where I did. And when I did my PhD, my supervisor was a gentleman called Douglas J. Perkins, and he's sitting here. If you talk about writing grants, this guy is the machine. So you know where I got it from. That's where I learned how to write grants, how to deliver on grants. And we are very grateful that he's here. He's now at the University of New Mexico, so he's here representing the University of New Mexico. American Society for Cell Biology, that's where the spirit of this center came from. So we have Kirk here. Kirk. As you can see, Kirk is one of the commanders of this program. You can ask him what commander is. We have University of Cambridge. We have a few people from University of Cambridge. Mark Carrington and Bola. Mark is a big supporter. He comes here every year and runs a workshop for 2 weeks without pay, and I only give him coffee. So we thank you, and we are happy to have you. The University of Oxford, our keynote speaker, Kip Gore, is here from the University of Oxford. Kip is a master in developing curricula and leading research groups, so he has been very useful as an encyclopedia for us. Every problem he has a solution for. And he's the chair of our board, our advisory board. London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, where I have a lot of collaborations. We have a team, a strong team from London School. Julius, Lindsay, Kevin. Recently, we have been having strong collaboration at the Wellcome Trust Sanger Institute. That's where all genomics are done in the world. So, Oliver is here. So, in addition to attending the conference, Oliver is coming to look at our facilities because we have a flagship training program called Experimental Genetics. It has never been done in Africa. They want to do it at WACBIB next year. And University of Copenhagen, Las Vegas. He's here with some of his students, Mess, Yvonne, Rebecca. Lars and I go way back when I was doing my master's. And we used to do research together here at the Bridge. And recently he told me that at that time he thought I was just a joker because all I wanted he thought I had a funny car and all I wanted to do was to have fun and have beers. So he is surprised at what I'm doing right now. But I will still drink beers together. Alright, so our original partners are here. Malaria Research and Training Center from the University of Bamako. Sedina is here, one of our postdocs. All right, now wait for this one, it's French. Centre National de Research. And here is Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso. And my friend Issa is here. We have another French institution, Centre Moraz, in Bobo Dioulasso. Cisse is here. Mahmoud is Cisse. Centre Suisse de Recherche Scientifique. They are in Côte d'Ivoire. Amy is here. Kenya Medical Research Institute, we have two people, one from the Kilifi Hospital, which is the Welcome Trust program. So we have Daniel here, Daniel Kuboy. He's one of our postdocs here for me. Medical Research Institute, Kisumu, we have John Ongecha here. And University of Cape Town, down south. We have our brother from Cameroon who lives in Cape Town. And then those who drove here, National Party. I'm starting from those who drove further, so number one. Narogo Health Research Center, the director is here, and Lucas is here. Please. Kintapoya Research Center, I don't know if they've arrived yet, but some of their trainees are in our program as students. Kintapoya Research Center, I think Rupen is here. Musa is here. Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, we have a big supporter there, Mohammed. UHAS, University of Health and Allied Sciences, I don't know if they've arrived yet. Bismarck's here? No. Okay. LECMA, we do a lot of our research at LECMA Hospital. Anybody from LECMA? That's Mr. Sokoku, who is head of the lab. Thank you. Lagre Chemical, I hear it's travel, so yeah. Anyway, we have so many people who have come here, and we appreciate your presence. We have members of our advisory board. Please, can we see any members of the advisory board who's here? I see Alex, and I see Mausi. And then I think some of the others are already. All right, so I'm not going to talk too much, even though I've already done. So let me introduce the chair. So the rapid progress that we've made has been through the support of the university management. We have had tremendous support of the university management at all levels. So I want to acknowledge the university management for supporting us. And that's because we have a vice chancellor who is an economist, so he understands those numbers I put up. That science is economics, science is money. So